introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Kirk and I am the chair of the IUCN Academy of Environmental Law.
So can you tell us about some of the achievements of the Academy while you've been chair?
Yeah, sure. So our big event is the annual Colloquium, and last year in Glasgow we had our largest event ever with 400 participants, which was quite something to behold, and an incredibly well organised colloquium. More normally we have around about 250 to 300 participants in a colloquium, so it's a fantastic opportunity to bring together academics from across the world to talk about top environmental law issues and issues with the environment, and to get together with old friends and make new friends as well. Our other big achievement is that we've been running a Training the Trainers program in Asia, and we've now reached the point where we've had an event in or for pretty well every country that we can within Asia, and so we've reached the point where we've got over 70 people that have been trained through that, and an opportunity now for them to take over the running of the Training the Trainers, which is just absolutely fantastic that we've reached that point. And so now our next challenge is to think about whether it's appropriate to be involved in other similar types of training programs in other parts of the world, or to think about other types of training that can be offered and support to academics. We've focused on teaching. Maybe we want to do a little bit more about research and how we make sure that people are aware of all of the materials that are now available through open access. It's being strongly encouraged by governments in various parts of the world, and all of the materials even that are available through NGOs and others that are making information available. You know, the ability now to get relevant information freely available on the internet is just fantastic, and I think that's something as an academy we want to think about. How can we share this and share best practice and how to use that information?
Great. And then going forward for the next, say, couple of years, 5 to 10 years forward, what do you think the biggest challenges will be for environmental law academics as we face so many global crises?
The problem is that we will face a backlash because we are the people who have to take the lead and tell the world what needs to be done, and put forward potential legal solutions to these problems. And we are the people who need to stand up and say, this isn't good enough, we need to do more. And we are challenging. We're going to have to challenge society, we're going to have to challenge the way the world and the public interacts with its world round about it. And that will lead to a backlash, and so I think academia is already under pressure around the world, and we already have many countries where activists find their safety at risk, and I think that's something that's likely to increase. So one of the things that we as an academy can do is to provide that safe space where we can provide support to our colleagues, and try and provide shared tools, shared experiences, and shared encouragement to make sure that we keep working.
And last thought is the Academy is part of the big IUCN family.
Yeah.
And so any kind of final thoughts about the intersection between the Academy and the IUCN, or looking forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we talk about actually, because the Academy has grown. It's still relatively young, but it has grown and it's become really active. And I think one of the things that we do need to think about more is how we start to plan to make sure that, for example, major conferences take place back to back, rather than at different times in the year. And that means planning 4 or 6 years in advance. And we're now, we haven't been in a position to be able to do that. We are now. The Academy is now in a position to be able to do that. And so I think that's one of the things that we have to start doing more of, start thinking about how do we make sure that we combine these events so that it makes it possible for people to attend all of them, and also to make sure that we're not repeating each other. We haven't got time to have the same papers presented at different conferences. We need to take action and to move forward to protect the environment, and that means cooperating with each other to make that collaboration happen.
Great. Thank you so much for your service. I know I'm going to put this on the record. If Antonio were here, he'd be singing your praises once again. But thank you for taking the time for the interview, Elizabeth, and for all you've done for the Academy and for the
Thank you.
IUCN.
Thank you. Well, it's been my pleasure to be able to serve and to give a little bit back to the community. I personally have benefited enormously from being part of this family, and I did want to take that opportunity to give something back. So thank you.
Thank you.
And to all of our wonderful colleagues, thank you for being such great colleagues as well.
Great.